Story number 1. I'm divorcing my husband of 10 years due to a one-night stand. My F-35 husband M36 and I have been together for 10 years, nearly 11, and we have 2 kids, 2 and 4 years of age. We always had a really good relationship, always communicating, being very loving towards each other, and he was always loyal, not even watching porn out of respect for me, without me even asking. We shared each other's passcodes. He is just a great husband. However, my husband works a lot more since getting a new job, and he has been stressed lately. I try to help him, but there's not much I can do. I thought he would be okay, but a week ago, he didn't come home on time. When he did, 2 was late, and he went straight to bed. That morning, he was unusually quiet, unlike our usual chattiness every morning, because neither of us work mornings. So I thought he had a bad day and asked him what was wrong. Immediately, he admitted to a one-night stand. Like it was quick, I was just surprised at first. The story was that he was out with his male coworkers. He never really drank, but he did to relax due to his stress, and his coworkers encouraged him a small mirth. He wasn't borderline drunk, but he told me he ended up having sex with a woman who joined their get-together. He said it was a moment of weakness, and he wasn't thinking of the consequences until afterward. He admitted he had no excuses. He said he felt guilty because he never thought he would do something like this. He said he had to tell me so he could fix what he did. He promised to get therapy and do whatever it took to make things right, even letting me look through his phone. But I quickly told him to leave, and I didn't want to speak with him. I was heartbroken, disappointed, and cried all night. I don't know what to do. I want to divorce because I have a zero-tolerance policy for cheating. He knows this, but we've been together for almost 11 years. He's never done anything like this before, and I love him dearly. However, how could I ever let him even touch me again? I told my mom since I needed advice, but she says I'm in wrong for wanting to split up my family over one mistake that he admitted, and she said it could have been an affair, and he could have not said anything, but he did, and I should try to forgive. She said if I did love him, I wouldn't just leave him without trying. But I just don't know. He had sex with another woman. I'm hurt. Am I the a-hole? Story number 2. Faith broke our marriage. We met when we were 16. Shortly after that, I became pregnant and we had our daughter. At first, neither one of us were very religious. His parents have always been traditional Catholics. But I didn't think much of it until about 1 year into our marriage, when he started to become more devout. He began insisting that Catholicism was the one true church, and convinced me to join RCIA to join the faith. I decided to join the church, thinking that it would give me some purpose and sense of unity within our family. But as time went on, I started to feel like my intuition was telling me something wasn't right. He insisted that natural family planning was the only acceptable form of birth control, and our souls would be damned to hell if we chose to use condoms or birth control. We took classes specifically designed to teach us how to use natural family planning, claiming that it was 99.9% effective. We could only have sex certain times of the month, and pulling out was also considered a sin. I tried to do everything correctly by checking my cervical mucus and using ovulation sticks, but my cycles were too irregular, and I ended up having 3 children by the time I was 21 years old. After this, I went into a deep postpartum depression. I didn't have a car or any friends. Our circle consisted of rad-trad Catholics who were obsessed with following the church teachings perfectly. My husband was obsessed with his faith, and most of our conversations consisted of church topics. We went to Mass multiple times a week and only listened to Catholic CDs. I began to feel trapped and isolated within my marriage and friend group. I was no longer sexually or romantically attracted to my husband. I didn't really believe in church teachings, which I made known many times to him throughout our marriage. I finally decided to leave after feeling like I had no control or say in the relationship. I didn't want any more children, and I was terrified of using NFP. On top of this, I was frustrated by the lack of decision-making on my part in the marriage. Within our 7 years of marriage, he had essentially made every important decision for us. Where to live, what to believe, what car to buy, etc. I didn't know how to do basic things like open a credit card or pay our bills, It became a very codependent relationship that was both of our faults. I should mention that my husband is actually a very nice person. I've highlighted the negative aspects of the relationship, but he's an amazing father and person. He truly cares about me and has always treated me with respect and kindness. He let me sleep in when the kids were younger, made me breakfast and coffee in the morning, gave me back rubs, etc. I left him about a year ago, and we've been co-parenting really well together. We hang out frequently and spend evenings together with the kids. He's making amazing changes and has stepped back from traditional Catholicism. We both recognize that our relationship dynamic was unhealthy. So why do I still have reservations about getting back together? I feel like I only view him platonically, and the sexual and romantic attraction is no longer there. Part of me wonders if it's possible to regain this attraction. He would love to get back together, but I feel scared of falling back into that codependent and toxic dynamic again.